It's Judy on the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show, the show designed to stretch, empower, inspire, and motivate leaders, both seasoned and emerging, so they can excel in their leadership journeys. Thank you for joining me as I celebrate uniqueness, different perspective, and encourage voices to be heard. You are definitely in the right place at the right time with the right person. The people architect, yours truly, the Real Talk with Judy host, Dr. Judy Mandrell. Thank you so very much for tuning in. To all of you, thank you for joining me via radio, Facebook Live. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Tanya and Mama, Kiara, Carolyn. So good to have y'all on here. Thank you for joining me again via radio, Facebook Live, YouTube, and to all of you outside of Tallahassee, especially in Scotland and Paris and Italy. Thank you. So, and the Bahamas. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am honored and thankful that you have chosen to join me. Please do me a favor. Call, text, tag everyone you know, and let them know that Real Talk with Judy is on the air right now. And so while y'all are doing that, I must give a shout out to my favorite girl in the whole wide world. That's my mama. You know it. My mama, Mother Dr. Irma Hunter Wesley. She is the reason I am who I am. And I want to thank you for praying for her. She's still my trusted advisor and mentor. I want to say, Mama, thank you for joining in. Thank you for all that you do. And to all of y'all continue her in your prayers. But as long as there's breath in her body, there's life. She's doing well. Again, I just want to say hello. And my family and I greatly appreciate you all. And I am always celebrating the love of my life, my awesome and amazing husband, Superintendent Gerald Mandrell. He is the senior pastor of Life Changers. He is the reason I get to do what I do. I told my husband to mute his phone and everything, and I got mine wide alive. I want to thank everybody, to my production team, led by the one and only, the dynamite missionary sister, marketing director Priscilla John Lewis, and her amazing staff, who helps me deliver an award-winning show to a great audience every time I'm on. I want to say thank you so very much. There will be no number one Real Talk with Judy without a number one audience. Thank you for being here with me all the time I'm on the air. I greatly appreciate it. I'm so excited about what I am about to give to you today, and to help me to empower, inspire, and motivate you. I went all the way to Edinburgh, Scotland, and got my sister, the trainer extraordinaire, a profound, prolific speaker, a business owner, author, planner of one of the best Bridgerton event in Scotland ever. My pusher, one of the major reasons I am who I am. One of the major reasons I am who I am. And I believe her voice, knowledge, and wisdom is worth hearing. And I will be introducing her in just a moment. I will be bringing her on in just a few moments. But I am so glad that she will be joining me. As I stated, I have two of my sisters on right now. I have Tanya, she's noted up there as Charlie Pie. She is the primary caretaker of my mom. I want to say, Tanya, we greatly appreciate you. And Carolyn is in Dallas, Texas at the AKA Boule. And so I know she's having a wonderful time. So, Hey, today we're going to be talking about, today we're going to be, but I want you to go ahead, y'all. I want you to go ahead and tag and share. Did I say caregiver? Yeah, caregiver. Caregiver. But I want you all to go ahead and tag and share. I want you to get involved into this conversation. I want you to make comments. I want to invite those of you on Facebook to make comments in the chat. Those of you who are listening to me by way of radio or your computer or something, you can text me. Text me your comment. I make sure they are there. 850-212-8805. 850-212-8805. Because I would love for you to join in the discussion. Today I'm going to be talking about you owe it you owe it to yourself. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. And we're going to get started. But as I'm engaged with some people and observing some people, I see a sense of entitlement. I see a sense of entitlement, meaning there is a personality. Entitlement is a personality trait based on the belief that someone believed that they deserve special treatment or recognition for something they didn't earn. They just feel that they should get it anyway. People with this type of mindset believe that the world owes them something without giving anything in return. They believe that, hey, Shalita, they believe that the world owes them something. Okay, they believe that because they have done this or done that, they feel entitled. They feel like something should be given to them on a special platter. Do you not know that people get upset when you do not fulfill their sense of entitlement? When you do not come with that to their sense of entitlement? But we're going to talk about, my sister and I, we're going to talk about today, um, uh, you owe it, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. And so we're going to dive into that. And we're going to have a great conversation about that, because we want you to know that we want to shift the focus from entitlement and shift the focus to what do we owe to ourselves. We want to shift the focus to what do we owe to ourselves. We owe ourselves something. We owe ourselves some things. All right. We're not entitled to something, but we do owe ourselves some things. Uh, the Bible says that do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Love others as you love yourself. Those are things that you can't accomplish effectively. I believe that you can't accomplish loving others. You can't accomplish doing for others in an effective manner if you do not love yourself. You have to love yourself first. You're not going to love anyone, do for anyone, or accomplish anything if you don't do it to yourself first. So that's what we're going to talk about. You owe it. You put the it. You put the it. And as I'm getting ready to prepare, we're getting ready to prepare for this. Put in the chat, what is your it? What do you think are some things that you owe to yourself or we owe to us? You owe it to yourself. Okay, you, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Scotland is my sister, Lady Cynthia Holden. Welcome, Cindy.
Hello, it's so good to be here. I'm really sorry about the storming here in Scotland just now, or at least in the Glasgow, Edinburgh area. So the internet reception is not the best. So please bear with me.
I'm glad to have you. I gave you such a grand introduction and you missed it. But it's okay. It's okay. But I gave you such a grand introduction, and as I was getting started, um, Cindy, tell them what we're going to talk about today. And I just asked them if they would put in the chat some things that they think that they owe to themselves. So our subject matter today is you owe it to yourself. And so I was just getting ready to get into it. But Cindy, would you like to say anything before we get started?
Well, it's great to be here. I think I love this topic, and absolutely love this topic because many of us, and I'm going to include myself in that. I'm going to include you as well, Dr. Judy. Many of us give so much to others. We give. We feel like we owe our time to others. We owe our money to others, and I feel that many times we neglect the person we owe the most to. So I'm very excited about talking about this subject.
Oh, I love what you just said, Cindy. Is that we sometimes neglect the person that we owe the most to. And you and I was talking earlier, we talked about we are our greatest investment. We are our greatest investment. We are our greatest investment. And as I was thinking, uh, Cindy, is that everyone has a business. Every single person who's born, they are born as a business owner.
That's right.
They are born already as a CEO. That's the chief executive officer. Everyone has a business, and that business, y'all, is you.
That's right.
That business is you. You are the primary, you are the CEO of whatever your name is. I am the CEO of Judy. And as we are our greatest investment. Talk with me, Cindy.
In fact, that's your first business. Your first job is you. You know, when you come into this world, we, as human beings, we're feeding ourselves. We're crying, so mom will change us. We're on the job right away, taking care of ourselves. I think we need to determine at what point that becomes secondary. That need, that desire where you were first, because you being first is not selfish. You being first is right, because one thing they can't say, you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself, the person that means the most. So I think it's important to delve into why you want first. It's because it's not selfish.
Cindy, a point just came to me, a thought just came to me rather when you was talking about when we were crying and all that. Because I was thinking, where does entitlement come from? How do we become entitled? And I just thought about it when you said it. And the reason we become entitled, I believe, it starts at birth. It starts at birth. We're crying, and so they feed us. We're crying, they pick us up. We're crying, they're trying to find out what's wrong. What's wrong, little girl? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? We walk and we're trying to walk and we fall down and they pick us up, right? So I'm sitting here thinking as you're talking, that's the beginning of entitlement.
Yeah. hmm when we are born, when we're babies, we do feel like we're entitled to life, and life includes um, it includes food and nourishment and love and protection. And you know what? There's a somebody out there hearing me. There's a term, and I can't bring it to my mind just now. When you continue to behave in a manner that does not serve you. So when we are young and we're crying because we want to be held or changed, or um, when you grow older and you're continuing to cry to get things, that behavior no longer serves you.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's when we're taking care of ourselves now. We're taking care of ourselves, and we're making sure that we get what we need. That's when that sense of entitlement changes.
Yes.
That's when it changes. When we're able to fulfill our own needs.
Okay, you all put that in the chat. That sense of entitlement changes when we're able to fulfill our own need. And so we must get to the point to understand that I am my own business owner and I owe it to myself. I owe it to me. 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 And I need, go ahead, Cindy. I see it.
As a business owner, I'm a business owner. Dr. Judy, you're a business owner, and there are probably many business owners out there. Now, as a business owner, for me, my job is everything. I have to take care of the everyday stuff, the cleaners, the payroll. I take care of everything. And I have to. I have to make sure my employees get paid. I have to make sure that the correct amount of tax is taken out. I have to make sure my office is clean. I have to make sure that we're functioning when we're supposed to be functioning. That's my job as owner of my company. Now, if you are not doing these things for yourself, then there's a problem that you need to address. And that's why you owe it to yourself to make sure your company is running right. I make sure my company gets paid too. If my company's owed something, yeah, I'm making sure it's getting what it needs. Are
Yeah.
you?
Uh-uh. Are you? That's a good question. Are you? Are you making sure that your company gets what it needs? Are you? And I'm talking about your individual company. That's what we're here to talk about today. That you owe it. And it's not selfish.
It is
It is
not.
not selfish to look out for your company, to make sure that you are okay. It is not selfish.
Now, here's something you might want to consider. When you run a company, and this might really relate or resonate to many of you, when you run a company and you have employees, you have to take care of them because your employees take care of you. They make sure. Who are your employees as a person? Your children, your husband, your sisters, your brother, your mom. These are the people surround you. These are your personal employees. These are the people who give you love, and you give them love and you give them time.
They're your greatest asset, and
They
you're
they are.
you're only as good as the people you have around about you.
Okay, so they are your greatest asset, and you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So you need to consider if you are, um, if you have your these employees around you, your relatives, your friends, and family. What are they doing to sustain the business? If they're draining your business, maybe you need to take a look at that, and you need to have a conversation if they are not helping your business.
Wow. Wow. That is important. It is important. And so, as you owe it to yourself, you owe it to yourself to make sure you surround yourself with people who are helping you to grow,
That's right.
helping your business to be successful. Cindy, you just made another point, man. That was good. You and bless your employee, but your employees and bless you too, because you
Yeah.
don't have employees to help you, you're not going to be as successful as you can. So it is important that you make sure your employees are beneficial
Absolutely.
to your company. So what do we owe to? Go ahead, Cindy.
Otherwise, why are they there? If you have most in a business, if you have an employee that's detrimental to your company, they're causing your company to have a bad name. They're causing you to lose money. I'm afraid you're going to have to get rid of them. You're going to have to put them on a plan to get better, or you're going to have to let them go because your I guess your goals aren't aligned. If you and turning that around to someone in your life, if your goals aren't aligned, why are they in your life? Because we get, as employees, as friends, whatever we get, give and get from something, there's a purpose for it. That word purpose, we're going to talk about that later. Purpose, you know, every employee serves a purpose.
And you got to remember, you're the captain. Here you are, Cindy. You are the captain of
Yes.
your own ship. You are the captain, right? We want our
Yes.
employees to be assets and not liabilities. So we have to watch what's on the inside of us. Today, we want you to understand it is okay to take care of you. It is okay because you owe yourself some things. You owe it to yourself. And as Cindy is talking, there's some things, you all, that we have to get rid of out of our own life because it is becoming a liability to us, whether
That's
that's people, whether that's things. And mostly what we're going to talk about, I believe, is a lot of things. We there are some things we have to get rid of in
absolutely.
order to be the best self we can be. And you owe that to you. You owe that to you.
Let's talk about the word "owe." The word "owe." What does the word "owe" mean? I think that um, when you um, owing means you have to give something, or you have to pay something to somebody. Owing, when you owe someone, um, and usually owing means that someone has done something for you, or they're giving you something. And if you owe them the store money because you bought clothes, you owe the store money because you bought grocery. You owe somebody love because you've indicated to them that, or they've said they've loved you. Or oh, now that word "owe" can also have a negative connotation to owe it, because a lot of people say, "I don't want to be in debt." My husband said, "No, I can't be in debt. I'm pay that credit card off every month because I'm not going to be in debt. I don't want to owe anyone. I don't want to owe anyone." But owing can be part of belonging. It can be part of nurturing. I owe someone respect because they respected me. So owing is not necessarily a negative word. It's just a return on investment.
Yeah.
Someone has done something for me, so I owe it to return it, whether it's love, whether it's respect, whether it is um I guess just being what you need to be to other people, because we are part of a larger community. We're always part of a larger community.
And so go back, your body is investing in you. So God has given us this body as a temple to house everything that we have. So we owe it to ourselves to do some things. Let's look at a few things, and we both to just give out some things what we owe, because we want us to understand that we owe it. One of the things that we owe, I believe, Cindy, is self-care. Self care. We owe ourselves self care. We owe it to ourselves to prioritize self care. This includes physical health, mental well being, and emotional balance. We owe that to ourselves. We owe self care to ourselves. Taking time to recharge, nourish our body, and seek joy is essential. We owe that to ourselves. We owe that to us. We okay, so we owe that to ourselves. We owe that. That's one of the first things I want to put on there. You owe yourself self-care. You owe yourself that. Number two, another thing, authenticity. Authenticity. You owe that self to be true to who you are. You owe that to yourself. You don't have to go around faking and being somebody you're not. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace your quirks. You know, some of us got different whatever. Embrace that. Be who you are. You owe that to yourself. And passions. You owe passion to yourself. And that's what authenticity does. It allows us to connect with others and live a fulfilling life, being who we are. Being who we are, being who you are. And you owe that to you. You owe that to yourself. You really do. You owe those things to you. Come on, what's some other things you think you owe to yourself? You owe growth to yourself. You owe growth to yourself. So I said you owe self-care to yourself. You owe authenticity to yourself. And then I say you owe growth.
And
We owe it to
respect.
yeah, and so we owe it to ourselves to learn. We owe it to ourselves to evolve. We owe it to ourselves to grow. We owe that to ourselves. You owe that. No one is responsible for you growing. You owe that to yourself. Whether through education,
Yep.
experiences, or personal development, continuous growth enriches our life, and you owe that to yourself. You owe it to you. Pay yourself. Invest in yourself. Make it happen. Cindy, you said respect.
Definitely respect. And I also want to say one other thing though on the owe yourself as a business owner. One thing we were always taught is you pay yourself first. We don't always do that. You're talking about you owe yourself something. Pay yourself first. You pay yourself and then you pay your employees. It's not the other way around. And some people say you can't work in a business or on a business. In this case, you can.
Yeah.
You have to make you a priority. That's when you grow. Because
Come
when
on.
you grow as a person, as a business, that's when your employees grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when they grow, But self-respect, I'm going to move on. I just want to make that point.
No, but that was important. That was important, Cindy. That's very important because you have to make yourself a priority, and it is okay. People, she always thinking about herself. She has to. You better.
Oh, yeah.
You better think about yourself because that entitled person will get so upset when you take a moment to take care of you. But who is the entitled person taking care of? Themselves. They're looking out for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you look out for you. Make yourself a priority. My mama told me the other day, I said, Mama, wash your clothes. She said, Judy, that's a good thing. Clean clothes make you smell good. She said, clean clothes will make you feel better. She said, you do that first. She said, you do that first. She said, get the clean clothes first before you take a bath, and then you take a bath. Then don't put no dirty clothes on don't put no dirty clothes. Then she said, Gerald don't want to wear no dirty clothes, so you make sure you wash his clothes. Do you wash his clothes? Yes, ma'am. Because we don't take care of us with, come on, priority.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself first, and it's okay.
And I'm going to say, and I know it's been said several times, do you know why when you're on an airplane, they say you must put on your mask before you put on your child's mask? Because they know if you don't put your mask on, you can't help your child. If you don't put your mask on, you can't help. You cannot, no matter what anyone says, you can't help someone when you're down. And so all these people dependent on you. At the end of the day, if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of them. That's fact.
That's fact. That is fact.
That is absolute fact.
Absolutely. Put your mask on first, because if that pressure goes and you're trying to, everybody gonna die with you. Everybody with you just going, everybody. Yeah. So you might as well put yours on first so you can help. That's not selfish. That's life. Gerald said you owe yourself uniqueness. You owe uniqueness to yourself. Stop trying to imitate everyone else. You owe yourself uniqueness. You owe yourself uniqueness. You owe yourself to be who you are.
That's right.
You owe that to yourself. I'm slew-footed. I mean, you walk like that. And when I try to walk with my feet straight, my legs hurt, my knees hurt. I feel so much better walking like that because that's how I walk, right? And when I try to walk like others, it doesn't work. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes different parts hurt. that don't normally hurt when I walk the way I walk. Oh, that's a good point. When I walk the way I walk. But when I walk how I walk, I'm comfortable. I'm able to stand longer. I'm able to move faster because I am not being anyone else. I am uniquely me.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And you know, it's okay to be you.
Yeah.
It's okay that you don't look like the media tells you you're supposed to
Oh,
look.
come on.
It's okay that your hair's curly. It's okay that your skin's dark or your skin's light. It's okay that you're fat or you're skinny. You're totally, it's okay. It's okay to be you. Not only is it okay, it's unique, it's wonderful. It is self-belief, and you owe it to yourself to believe that you're perfect, that God didn't make any mistakes, and you're
Yeah.
perfect just the way you are.
Yeah. That's
Believe
right.
that.
Yeah. I'm getting no facelift. I ain't getting none of that. I like me. Cindy, what's the song you sang when we was on the cruise, when we were doing
I want to talk
karaoke?
about me. I want to talk about me.
That was so funny, man. We was doing karaoke and Cindy brought. I never heard of that song before. I'm tired of talking about y'all. I'm tired of. So I want to talk about me. Boy, she rocked the entire ship for the rest of the cruise. You know, we huh?
I love talking about me. We all, you know something, all of us, we were raised in such a way that
Yes.
our self-belief is so incredible. I'm going to talk about me for 1,000 years. I'm going to talk and talk. You're always talking about yourself because I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I'm great. And you know what? When people, if someone doesn't like me, I think something's wrong with them.
That's
I
how I
actually
feel.
think that someone's mentally impaired if they don't like me.
Because I like me. I don't
I
see why
love
you don't
me.
like me.
And I'm amazing.
And me too. And so are you. And you know what?
are.
It is okay. And you know what I like about the Bible? The scripture said this: don't think of yourself more highly. It didn't say don't think of yourself. It just said don't think of yourself more highly. And people, you know, and so we got this concept wrong. We got this concept wrong. And they, Pastor Gerald like to talk about this false humility. Come on, this false humility. Hey, Miss Patterson, this false humility, Cindy.
Yeah.
This is what I say. They won't clap. They always honoring him. They always honoring her. They always doing this. Wait till they get honored. And all of a sudden, it's going to be different. I promise you. You let somebody call and say, hello, Brula. We're going to honor you as the woman of the year. After a while, it is okay. But right now, everybody getting tired of seeing your name on Facebook, seeing your name in the news, seeing this. Here it come again. Here it come again. My thing is celebrate with others.
Absolutely.
Because one day your name might be called and you'll already know how to walk the stage.
There you go. That's
Look,
it.
Look, you already know how to walk the stage. Man, Cindy, I just thought about it. You remember we were growing up and Mama had all the dolls, all 50 dolls around the wall.
Mm-hmm.
All 50 baby dolls of every country. I mean, every state around the wall. She had them. Because she said one day, one of y'all might be up here representing your country. That's representing right. Your city, representing your state. She taught us, Dad taught us, we teach each other that we owe it to ourselves to be great, to be beautiful in our own skin, and to love who you are. We do that. And I want to tell everybody on here, you owe it to yourself to do that. Don't you let nobody diminish who you are to your own self.
Here, here's the thing. If you are not the most important person in your own world, then what does that mean in your own world? Life is perception. What you believe to be true. Judy, what's that say? Whether you think you're good or not, both is true.
Both is true.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If you don't believe that you're good enough, if you don't believe that, belief, belief is reality. What you believe, it doesn't mean it's everyone's reality, but yours. And if you don't believe
Yes,
that you're
yes,
good enough,
yes.
if you are, if it's owed to you, if your own self-respect, then that's, you need to have a conversation with somebody.
No, but you're right. You're right. You're right.
No.
You're right. Cindy, we have a zip code, and this came to me the other day, Pastor Mandrell. We have a zip code here in Tallahassee, 32304. And you know what the only thing they talk about of that zip code? That it's the worst in the country. It's the worst in Florida. It's the
Wow.
worst in Tallahassee. It's the worst. It's the worst. Then they send the children to school and want them to be somebody. They want the parents to be somebody. But here you are telling the people who live in the area, not the area code, zip code of 32304 that they the worst. What happened when you keep repeating something to somebody? What happened? What
You create reality.
you create reality. I said I'm not gonna, and I'm served over 100 children. Never again will they hear from me that 32304 is the worst zip code in Florida, the worst zip code in this region. It is not. They're calculating it wrong. And so they bring these children to school with the mentality that you live in the worst place in the world. And so it gets in their heart, it gets in their mind, but they owe it to themselves. They owe it to themselves to be great. And that's what we have to teach. You got parents who live in the 32304 who think that I can't do any better. You as good as anybody who live in 32301. That's where I live. 32308. Stop telling, because if you keep putting it before them, that's what they're going to become. 32304 is not the worst zip code in Tallahassee, Leon County. The worst zip code is wherever you live if you're not upgrading it.
That's right. Judy, I know you've heard me say this before, probably some of your listeners, but it's so important. When I was up in Dundee, in Scotland. I was up in Dundee, and I was meeting with one of their, I guess what would be the equivalent of a senator. And I said to him, I'm the best trainer coach in the UK. And he said to me, oh, I don't know about that. Prove it. I said, I don't have to prove it. I know it. You prove that I'm not. You owe yourself self-belief. You believe in yourself. You owe that to yourself. And in this whole conversation about owing yourself is about what we engage in first. You owe it to yourself to be first in your role. You're the queen can you imagine going to the queen? She's passed away now. Can you imagine going to the Queen of England and saying, oh, I think your country sucks? She's going to say, off with your head. Off with your head. Without a doubt. This is my queen. I represent this whole United Kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what? Be authentic. Be amazing. Be wonderful. And you know what amazing is? Who you are uniquely. Be yourself and believe that. Believe with all your heart.
Amazing. Who you are uniquely. Oh, I like that.
Belief creates reality. What you do is what you believe in, is what you create. It's a cycle. If you walk into a room like God sent you, you believe that you belong in that room.
Right. Don't walk in anywhere timid. Don't let anyone intimidate you. If you don't know what they know, then ride with them. That's all. That's what I do. When I'm in meetings and someone have a question, I don't know the answer, and they think I should. I said, LaShawn, answer that for me. LaShawn knows. They don't know what you know. And they don't know what I know. And guess what? They don't know what you don't know. Until you open your mouth and act like you don't know it. You owe it to yourself to create an environment of you. Ah, you owe that to yourself. You owe it to yourself to discover, and Cindy, you said this earlier, your purpose. You owe it to yourself to discover your purpose.
There is no one on this earth like you. No one within that uniqueness. No one on this earth that has your mother and father like you, who's the third child of your mother and father, who slew foot like you. No one on this earth is you.
Yeah.
No one. Just like my mom always says, so I love each and every one of my kids as they are. No one can take your spot. No one can take your spot because you are uniquely you. No one on earth is like you. And if you're not there, your presence is gone because there's no one like you. No one could walk in your shoes because your shoes are for you. You owe it to yourself. And what did Michael Jackson say? Don't stop walking because you don't have shoes. Remember the Wiz, Yeah. No one's like you. Owe it to yourself to exist.
Come on.
Yeah, exist. Just be you. Just being you is a gift to the world.
Wow. You are a gift. You are an amazing gift to the world. You are an amazing gift to the world. You owe yourself that. You owe it to yourself to find out what drives you. You owe that to you. What impact do you want to make? What impact do you want to make? You find that out and you make it. Can't nobody stop you from doing it. Can't nobody stop you from doing it. People want to stop you. They don't, because they know that you're blooming, you're growing. Do you make things happen? I said, when life changes, if somebody said if your church was to close down, would the city miss it? Yes. Yes. The city would miss life changers. Mm-hmm. Would they miss Pastor Mandrell? Yes. Would they miss Judy? Yes. Mm-hmm. Would they miss the child in our church? Yes. Because we're groaning them, Cindy. What do you want to be? Let's be that. I work with families whose income ain't even $8,000. $8,000. I told them they don't have to go to the movies. We got all this stuff on app. You don't need Comcast. Get YouTube TV. Get something cheaper. Come on, make it happen. Mm-hmm. Make it work for you. And I know every single person, whether they want to admit it or not, who have come through life changes, every single person, whether they want to admit it or not, who have come through life changes, is great because even if they were taught it in their home, it was re-emphasized when they got with us. I will fuss at people. Stop crying. You're crying for it. What messed up? Go fix it. It ain't over.
It's not.
Put you in it. Put you in it.
21 years ago, I remember being in my car and I was praying and I was crying to God. I was like, oh God, I didn't own a house. I wasn't married. I had no children. I was like, Lord, I'm almost 40 years old. And, I thought you would do these things for me. And I thought because I felt like, God owed me, or I thought my life would be a lot better than that. And I was quite angry with God. I'm like, why am I here at this point in time? And I want you to know that, this is my 20-year anniversary. I've been married 20 years. I have 2 children. I have a lovely house. I'm retired from a great business, and you know what? God gave me what I felt I was owed. He gave me what I felt I was owed. Don't stop believing. Don't feel like what you want is too much. God will give you what you feel like you're owed. That's so important. That's so very important. Believe in what you're owed. Wait for it. Work for it. You'll get it. You
Yeah.
will. Believe in
Yeah.
that.
Oh man. Our oldest sister Robin said, great show this morning. Learning a lot to help me and others if you take it in. That's from my other that's from our older sister, our oldest sister. Okay. Victoria. Keep believing. I mean, that what you got. You know what you owe yourself to? We're almost to the end here. But you know what you owe yourself? You owe yourself forgiveness. You owe yourself forgiveness. We owe it to ourselves to forgive others because holding on to unforgiveness and hold grudges, it harms you. Forgiving others and ourselves frees us from emotional burden. Do you know that's why some people are so burdened because they're holding on to unforgiveness and their mind can't relax because they're holding on? You owe it to yourself to forgive. You owe that to yourself. Forgive others.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive others. You owe that to yourself. You don't give anybody that privilege. That's what I say, Cindy. When you're holding unforgiveness, you're allowing somebody to lock themselves in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You
Rent
you
free
have
space in your mind.
you have given that's right, given them permission to rent free space. They ain't even paying you for it. You letting them stay there free. You allowing them to occupy a space in your mind, in your heart. Get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria said, God gives due season. Yes, He gives due season, but you got to believe in you. You got to do that. You owe yourself. Pastor Mandrell said you owe yourself love. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to
And,
love.
and you have to be in a position to receive it. You have to be. Someone talked about Jesus and him being a joiner or a carpenter. You just can't chop wood down and use it. It doesn't work like that. The rain's going to make it all mucky and it's going to fall apart. Wood has to be seasoned and it has to be, go through some stuff before it's able to be used. So if you're thinking there, why hasn't this happened to me now? Perhaps you need to be seasoned and ready to be used. And if you're not in that place, it would be, it would be derelict to use you in a certain way when you're not ready to be that.
Ready to
You may not necessarily know that you're not ready, but somebody knows that you're not ready. So if you're not ready to receive, maybe that's why you haven't.
and listen when people tell you. Everybody ain't not to kill you. Everybody ain't not to hurt you. Some people know you ain't ready, but you owe it to yourself to get ready.
That's right.
But some people know you're not ready, and so everybody's not trying to hurt you or
No.
harm you.
No.
You owe it to yourself to laugh, to have joy. You owe that to yourself, to dance, to create, to explore. You owe that to yourself. Just dance, explore, laugh, enjoy life. We didn't ask to be here. We came, God gave us life. So since we here, enjoy it. But Cindy, right before we go, I want you to talk about just for a few moments. Well, not a few moments yet. Let's discuss this. A few things to be careful that you don't devalue yourself.
Yeah.
We don't want you to get caught in the cycle of devaluing yourself. That means to belittle, to think yourself. We don't want you to be there. We don't want you to be there. And so that can happen in various ways. And one way, Cindy, is
Well, I think that when you're putting other people's needs be over yours, when you need sleep, when you don't know how to say no. I'm tired. I'm tired when you don't know how to say no, when you're not giving your body the proper nutrition, when you're not fulfilling your mental and your physical and your emotional needs. And what does that mean? When you're not you're not learning, you're not sleeping, you're not eating. And when you are putting other people's needs over yours, you're devaluing yourself. You could give so much more if you got the proper rest, if you learned what you needed to learn, if you did what you needed to do. Prioritize yourself. So when something's happening, find out, how does this benefit me?
Yeah.
How does this make, if that's not selfish, how does this improve my life? Because you cannot help anybody in a negative state.
Wow.
You can't. You can't.
You can't. Yeah, and another way, Cindy, I think, is self-criticism. When you're constantly criticizing yourself, and I know people say I'm my own worst critic. Yeah, but when you're constantly criticizing yourself, always focusing on your flaws, downplaying your strength, you devalue your own worth.
Yes.
You devalue yourself. Don't instead appreciate your positive qualities. Acknowledge areas for growth without harsh judgment. You can say, I need to do better on this. But when I go to Planet Fitness, they have all over there no judgment zone. No, and sometimes when you go in there, you hear people say, "Yeah, I just started back. I done gained a lot of weight." I don't care. I don't care if you gain 1,000 pounds. I'm here trying to get this off of me. So I don't be on Dr. Now Pound and Dr. Now. You got enough food to last you for a year. That's what he told that lady. You don't have to eat. You got enough food in you to last you for a year. I would have got back at in some kind of way. But you owe yourself that. Don't devalue yourself there. And I'm working on this procrastination.
Eliminate the negative.
Putting off what you truly want or need to do can lead to self-devaluation. If you already can't, no. Diminishing your achievement. And then, Cindy, I want you to talk for a few minutes, but diminishing your achievement. Don't diminish your achievement because someone can't handle your greatness. Don't do that. You're great. You're great. Learn to celebrate people. Learn to be happy for folks. And learn to be happy for you. Clap.
Definitely.
Clap for yourself. Yes. Somebody told me, they said, you got about 30 awards. I said 42. I count them.
So do I.
I count them. I mean,
that's my
sister. So what? Gerald said, you are your own movie screen, teaching others what you think about you. You really are. Yeah. You're your own movie screen. Cindy, this has been a good show, but what I want you to do for about 3 minutes, I want you to talk. I want you to seal this show. I want you to seal it with your words. You just take a few minutes, seal this show. You owe it to yourself. Seal it.
And I teach this to my children, you teach people how to treat you. You teach yourself how to treat you. So how you view yourself and whether you believe you deserve, whether you believe you deserve the wonderful things that are out there or not, depends on how you think about yourself. Judy was talking about that area code that they say is the worst. We buy into our belief. What you believe to be true, it's what's true. It's not necessarily reality in anyone else's perspective, but what you believe to be true about yourself is how you treat yourself. There are some places I won't go. I just won't, because I believe my self-worth I wouldn't be in that place. There's some places you won't go. Yeah. Good places and bad places because you don't think you deserve to be there. Yeah. You think about that. Be true to yourself. Write it down. What do you believe to be true about yourself? And then what you believe is owed to you is going to come true in that. What you believe you are worth. What you believe you owe to yourself is about your own self-worth. Listen to those words: self-worth, self-respect, self-love. love. Self is not a negative word. It's important. You're important. Your entire existence is important. Most importantly, though, to you, what do you believe to be true about you? Because what you believe to be true about you determines what you believe is owed to you.
Man.
What you owe yourself and what other people owe you. People owe you self-respect. You know, your self-worth is powerful. Be a powerful woman. Be a powerful man. Be a power player, a power broker. Because you owe it to yourself to be that thing. And that's what's going to create amazing things in your life. When you give yourself what is owed, because only you can pay what's owed to yourself. And when you give yourself that, you're going to find some amazing things explode around you.
Wow.
I promise you that.
Yo, that's my sister. That's my sister, Lady Cynthia Holden. The Baron is all the way from Edinburgh.
What did I tell you?
I forgot.
Edinburgh. Like bro, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, like bruh. Edinburgh.
There you go.
Scotland. Thank you so very much for being on the show, Cindy. This has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for your comments. This is absolutely fantastic. Do me a favor, share it on your page. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. There's some people I really don't talk to because they don't value me. So I don't talk to them. There's some people, watch people who try to be sarcastic. Hey, mama is listening and remarking. Thank you, mama. Thank you. Thank you so very much for listening to your daughters who you train. We are because you did.
You did. You did.
So we thank you. Hey, y'all, join me every Tuesday on Zoom at 7:30 for Bible study, and every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. at 601 Mickeysuki Road here in Tallahassee, Florida at Life Changers Church of God in Christ. Cindy, again, thank you for being on my show, the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. This is the conclusion I want to give to y'all right here. When we neglect ourselves, we become less effective in helping others. Think of it, as Cindy said, as putting on your own oxygen mask before assisting others on a plane. It's not selfish, it's survival. That's real talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy.